Welcome in everyone to the Challenge After Show. Tonight, Pamela and I are talking about The Challenge, Season 40, Episode 1 of Battle of the Eras, and it is called The Era Invitational Part 1. Lots of setup. My overall thoughts, Pam, lots of setup. I'm into it, but lots of setup.
Yes, I guess because I just finished watching and my overall thoughts were, what? You're not going to tell us who, like what? So that was a little frustrating, but overall, banger of an episode. I liked it. I thought it was done really well. I liked the structure of the loser definitely going in. I hate when the loser doesn't have to go in. Yeah, I overall liked it a lot. Again, as you said, a lot of setup.
Yeah, and getting the backstories in there, making sure we understand everything as far as relationships go, as far as maybe some rivalries are going to go, maybe some people that want to work together are going to go. So they kind of gave us some good backstory there. Overall, I thought it was a really, really well done. But they're definitely giving us a lot to chew on, but not a lot to swallow yet. I mean, we're just like, can we get some elimination? No, you're gonna let these people stay for another one more. Get them a paycheck for one more week as far as episode airing goes. That's obviously not how they get paid. I think it's a weekly thing. But hey, make them feel like they got some more airtime by keeping them around longer.
It might be. So I guess, we just have to get into it and say what we think is going to happen, because another overall thing is that I was like, wow, the best people really are winning. Like first it was Laurel, Rachel, Tori, then Michelle, and then CT, and then Corey won. And I was like, all right. Because I was like, this really is like the best. Sometimes it's a fluke and someone that's not really a great performer or competitor can win. But in this situation, the people that actually won for their eras, I thought were some of the top competitors. There were few surprises there.
There were, and I'll say this about Era 4. I mean, Michelle wins. I don't think she's super strong, but then I started to think about like the other women on her team, and like Olivia to me could be hit or miss. I mean, Jenny was hit or miss tonight. I think we all maybe assumed Casey would win, but if you're not good with water stuff, then you're kind of screwed there. I don't know if she is or not, but didn't really show her too often. So Michelle won. I was like, that was the only one where I was like, oh, Michelle won, because like then they showed like who lost, and like I didn't at first see who lost in Era 2, but when I was like, oh, it's Ryan, like, okay, I could have written that for you guys. I could have just told you Ryan was going to lose. But anyways, yeah, I think there wasn't like so many surprises. I mean, can you say yeah, I thought, overall I was like, okay, yeah, Katie lost. I can see that happening. And like, as far as, I'm sorry, but like Era 1 has a ton of tough guys. So the fact any one of those 5 guys could have gone down there. Yeah, Katie, who was like, she's like, I didn't want to embarrass myself on this show. I'm like, and then CT even made fun of it. Like, he's like, or I forget who it was. It Jordan. Jordan was like, look, I'm here to win, like not go on vacation. Or maybe that was CT that said that. And then they go right to a shot of Katie Katie being like, this could be a really nice vacation. I'm like, Katie, why did they even invite you back? What a waste of a freaking spot, but whatever.
Different era. It's a different era, Dan. That era is, you've got Rachel, and then honestly, who else are you telling me is like there to compete?
In era 1, I mean, yeah, because you have Tina. It's like Tina's there.
No, Tina's not there.
Jody's there to compete.
Jody might be there to compete, but Jody suffers.
I know. We talk about it all the time.
Jody
overwhelmed easily.
She gets overwhelmed easily, and yeah, I mean, Rachel is above and beyond, I think, the standout champ of the girls on that team. But there's, people that are good at other things. We know that.
Hey, Pamela, name this movie. I know you can be overwhelmed. I know you can be underwhelmed, but can you ever just be whelmed?
It sounds like a share. Is it a
it's from a movie.
I know, but is it a blonde girl saying it? It sounds like, what's her name?
No, it's actually probably the exact opposite of a blonde girl.
Okay, a dark-haired guy. Can you ever just be whelmed? I don't know. You're gonna have to give me another. I don't want you to tell me though.
Oh wait, no, wait. You might be exactly right. It's from 10 Things I Hate About You, and it's either.
Was literally, but it is the girl. I love my prodigy. I love my.
It's either her or her friend. I was trying to think if it's either her or the friend, but I think you might be right. It is the blonde. Larissa Olenek or
Oh,
the black girl that's married to Dwayne Wade, Gabrielle Union. It's one of the two. I can't think of which one says it.
I think it's the little sister of Julia,
Well, then
whatever.
that's Larissa Olenek. But I'm just
Okay.
wondering if it's her or if it's Gabrielle Union, her best friend in the movie. Well, let's move along. We digress. Someone will tell us in the comment section. But
Okay.
that's when I said overwhelmed with Jody, it immediately made me think of that movie. Okay, let's start from the beginning. First of all, when we talked last time, we were under the impression that 10 people were going home opening night. I don't know why we were under that impression, but I thought TJ said 10 people. Now it makes complete more sense where it's only 8 people going home because then you can take off a guy and a girl off each team, which makes 100% more sense to me when we break that down.
That's what I think that's what I said last. I was like, there's gonna be maybe 2 people from each and one.
Yeah, it
I
made
didn't
no
know, but
sense being
yeah.
10 people. I don't know where we got that number. I thought I heard TJ say it probably, but that's on me. So, anyways, I love this format. Then the team has because it's the best when the team has to go against each other. You get more drama that way. The producer's doing a great job saying, yes, you're a team, but guess what? In this case, you're going to have to pick someone from your team to go against the person that lost on your team. It builds that extra drama, which is great. The dynamics of each team are really coming together. Again, the setup for this episode was fantastic. Yeah, and then what this will do is this will get us down to 32 players, which is what they've been doing in the later seasons. Originally, it was 24 players, which I liked, easier to handle, getting to know. You got to know each player more when it was only 24. They've been doing this 32 for a while now. So when they brought in 40 out of the bat, I was like, 40 people? How are you going to do storylines of 40 people? They're not. They're literally eliminating everybody on the first night, 8 of them. So yeah.
A lot of them, we do get a bit of a handicap here in that situation because we know more than half of them pretty well. More than half of them we've known
Exactly.
for
We've
3
we've been
decades.
around these
Like,
players.
yeah, we
In fact, there's nobody new besides Aviv that we haven't seen in
we've
a long time. So, and by the way, did you notice? So she came in on Fresh Meat. She was teamed with Darrell. They won, and I don't believe she ever came back. I can look that up, but I'm pretty sure that's what it sounded like because I've been gone for 18 years, meaning she hasn't been back since she won. I don't know why. I'm sure they asked her back after she won with Darrell. I'm sure they like, Aviv, you want to come back and do this again? No? Okay. I'll look it up though right now, real quick while
yeah,
yeah.
that's
Because
an
I am,
interesting thing to explore because you're correct, and I'm assuming there's a very logical reason, like she didn't want to do it because she had a job somewhere else or something like that,
yeah.
and just couldn't, and then,
Yep, that's the only
you know,
season she ever did. The only season
yeah,
she ever did. You know what her money won was from guess how much money
yes.
that she won on that fresh meat season that she won with Darrell. And I assume this is her chunk. I assume it's not the entire total that they split. I assume it's the chunk that she got. So how much do you think she got?
For 10,000.
No, she actually got 100. It says she got $126,500.
Oh,
So I
that's a lot of
assume
money.
did they yeah, it is. Hell yeah, it is. Did they split 250,000 then?
That's what I would guess.
Pretty I know my math is amazing, but that's a pretty nice chunk for fresh meat being that season was a long time ago.
18 years ago, yeah. I mean, that was when it was like, you win a stapler and a pen and a strawberry boom boom
No,
down at
you
the
win a 6-month free membership to Subway. Go get as many sandwiches. I'm like, hell yeah, give me
Yeah, you win a Burger King dinner and a sidekick.
yeah, the sidekick.
Yeah.
Classic. Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. So like, yeah, so you and I are both on the same page here. We both love this setup. We both love them having to go against each other. A couple of random things I noticed. They mentioned that CT has been on 20 or 21 seasons of the challenge. Well, there's been 40 altogether, which means that he's been in at least half of the seasons. That's
Hmm.
crazy. I mean, Bananas must be up there too, but like that's nutty that literally every other season there's CT. I mean, it just goes to show you like how much of an OG he is. I should look up Banana seasons too. I wonder if he's around 20 as well. He's got to be. But
He
like
has
that's
to
just crazy
be.
they mentioned that. And then did you like what they were doing with CT's pro tips that they kept throwing in?
I actually really liked them, and I really agreed with CT's pro tips.
Yeah,
The people
100%.
that lost were the people that had problems in that boat, which looked difficult, even though, Dan,
I was
where
I
did you
was
grow up?
I was excited. I grew up on a lake. Thank you for everyone can have a drink now.
Yeah.
I was so excited to talk about how to handle that situation.
Can't wait to hear because the awkwardness of that shape
Hmm.
mixed with, because I just came from many a lake adventure
Yeah.
on the East Coast, and I did a lot of kayaking, a
Yeah.
lot of paddleboarding, a lot of canoeing. And if you lose your balance in a roundish thing,
It's tough.
kind of screwed. So I want to hear what you think about that.
Yeah.
Second, so CT's tips, don't fall in, and CT's tips, don't like, don't nominate yourself. Agreed. And I
I
don't
don't get
understand
it.
how any
I
OG
don't.
person can think
I
that that's
don't
a smart
know.
move.
Now, I don't know if Derek just knew ahead of time that he was going to get voted in no matter what. But if I'm Derek, hell no, am I voting? And plus, you and Mark are supposedly, I mean, they're all friends, I guess, on that team. But from the interview that I just saw with Mark, like him and Derek are like the best of friends out of those five. So I don't know why you'd want to go up against your best friend on the team when you know damn well. Now, maybe he knows something we don't know. Maybe there's a redemption house that we're unaware of, but I highly doubt it. And yeah, what the hell are you thinking, Derek? But whatever.
And I think is, and this will liken Derek to Nelly, is that he has so much heart and loyalty and love. He doesn't want Darrell to have to go in. He feels like he owes him, which I don't understand exactly why he feels like he owes him that exactly, but he's sort of saying, I'll take one
I
for
don't get it.
you.
I don't
Darrell
get it.
himself was like, I love Derek, but not that much. Like, okay, if you want to
Yep.
volunteer, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Even
And
Darrell was like, dude, no, I wouldn't do it for you. So like, but that was obviously in a confessional where nobody heard it until
it was a little
yesterday.
over the top considering Mark is his best friend. So he's going against his best friend, and Darrell and him, fine, you're friends, you like him, but like
Yeah,
you owe it.
I think if he kept his mouth shut, Brad's the one most likely going in. But we don't obviously we didn't the only one we really know that's going in there is Derek, right? No one else has been chosen yet. They cut the episode before anything has been fully done.
And
People
you
are
don't
still
have any
stating their
answers.
cases, you know?
Back to the Nelly thing, it's heart and loyalty, but not a lot of like what's the word? Thinking something through.
Well,
I
what are you
think it's
talking
a very
what are you saying
Derek volunteering himself.
Derek volunteering, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like sweet, and I love Derek for it, but
Yeah, I don't know.
oh, Derek.
No, no, and like, okay, I understand. Like, what if it's like a strength thing against Mark? It probably won't end up being that, but like, what if it's a strength thing, dude? You're out of your mind. Like, I know you're a scrappy dude. Mark is huge, and apparently he's doing some wrestling now. He's like a wrestler. I'm sure it's one of his 18 to 20 jobs that he has because he's so random like that. But one of his jobs is like, I don't know if it's professional wrestling, but it's up there where it's like, yeah, they have pretty professional dudes doing that. I wouldn't want to go against him.
Wouldn't want to go against him, and I don't know. Derek's thinking in this doesn't make any sense to me. Put it that way. I don't have an explanation. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Um, so back to the miso soup bowl or the teacup, as CT and Tina called it.
Mm,
You know, in all honesty, the longer your limbs are, I think that that's going to help you because you have to get the circumference is very awkward. You have to be able to get around each side. So the shorter your limbs are, and then the other thing is you have to straddle your body in there to displace your weight. You can't keep you got to like jam both your legs against both sides. It's going to make you a little bit shorter though, because obviously you're going to be going down, but that's where the long arms are going to come into key. And then you have to go from the sides. If you try, you can't stroke from the middle of that thing because it's a complete circle. You have to go back and forth on each side, and you have to. It's all about balance too, because since it's a
mm,
circle, you have to balance it at all times. It's gonna have gotta have that core strength. And you know what I was
mm,
really impressed by was Devin, even though he sucked at it. He's like, no, I'm going to keep going. And he has that, like, you can call Devin out for not being the best challenger. He's more of a brain guy, but he showed a lot of heart tonight where did he just like come out of the water out of nowhere? They made it seem like he just flew out of the water and ended up saving himself from having to go directly into elimination, getting fourth place for the men in
mm.
his heat. So props to him. But yeah, those are my the keys to keeping that miso soup bowl from getting flooded with water. And
Mm.
Devin said he had a leak in his. I don't really know if that's true or not, but that seems
Well, they're in Vietnam, which we have to. For some reason, I had no idea they
yeah,
were in Vietnam this
yeah.
this season, and I think it was like a Vietnamese boat that was literally like like weaved together. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like So I feel like there's room for to see what I'm doing here.
Yes,
This, if you're
you're
just
making a
listening, it's like
basket with your hand.
weave, exactly, a basket weave, exactly. But that has room. That's like porous. I feel like water can get in there
I mean,
if
no one
you're
else
not.
seemed to have any issues. I think it's pretty tightly put together where you wouldn't have any, but for some, maybe Devin just let water in bar or whatever. The other thing I wanted to bring up was just because they're doing so much setup here. They were talking again about Anissa going into 26 eliminations, which you and I knew this ahead of time. And, basically like TJ being like, that's awesome. You went into 26 eliminations. And I was thinking to myself, that's not necessarily a good thing. It either means you sucked on a daily challenge or people voted you in because they don't want you on their team. It's not necessarily a good thing that you went. I don't understand why they're praising her for that. It just means you were on the challenge forever. You went, and then it's like, well, now let's break down those 26 eliminations. You know her record, right? Are you aware? I think we've gone over this a couple
Good
times.
in eliminations. Again, isn't she good in eliminations?
What's her
What's her
record?
stats?
So
I
give
don't
me
know.
the number. It's 26 eliminations. Do the numbers.
I'm gonna say she's won 14 of those.
So you think she's 14 and 12? She's 13 and 13. So she's
Ooh,
a 500 player in eliminations.
she's
And
50-50
it's
basically.
50-50, and we've talked about this. Eliminations are kind of like just a shitter. It's just shit luck half the damn time. And if
All
she
right.
went into eliminations against a girl that's half her damn size, which I'm sure she has sometimes, and it was a physical match, who's going to beat her in a pole wrestle? I mean, just she can just I mean, so I'm just saying. But then again, she could also have to be up in the air, flying around. I think she had to do one of those ones where she had her hands cuffed and she had to like go across. Like she's not winning that one. So, I mean, it's a crapshoot, really. Let's
It's a
be honest.
crapshoot, and eliminations themselves are a crapshoot. Anissa in the eliminations are a crapshoot because we know what her weaknesses are, and sometimes the elimination, just by the nature of it,
Right.
doesn't involve a lot of like endurance and distance and that sort of thing. Dan, I'm gonna say that it took me all this time to finally come around. I
Oh,
still love Anissa and want to see her on the show. I mean, I like her as a person. Um, but I finally come around to the what are you doing there? You know you're not going to win. We know you're not going to win. You know you're not going to win. I will also say I feel this way about Amanda when she's like, and I just want to beat Tori. I'm like, Amanda, you're never going to beat Tori. Okay, let's stop.
yeah.
Like, and Amanda is good at some things too and has a good personality. So I'm not saying I'm unhappy with them being on the show, but you know how I gave you a hard time and thought, let her get to an elimination. Let her get to an elimination, and she did.
Let her get to a final, you mean? Let her get to a
So now
final.
I'm on board with Guy. You finally got there.
Yep. She got to a final in Ride or Dies, as I recall, and it
Yeah,
was a disaster. Right.
and it was a disaster. So now I'm like, enjoy your vacation, enjoy hanging out with your friends,
Yeah, I
enjoy
think
Vietnam,
you know what,
but
Pam.
you're not going to win.
I'll do the other side for this. It's season 40. They had to bring her back. Like if
Oh,
they,
sure.
you know what I mean? Like if they asked her and she said yes, she's a classic challenger, good or bad. And I think she's bad at it. She needs to be back. So I'm fine
Well,
with her being here. But did you not see her team already during the they're calling it the chamber if we want to so we can everyone understands where the chamber. I don't see Rachel saying, yeah, we need Anissa in this final with us. No, they're saying you can
well,
go into elimination against who's going down for Nuri? No, that's not the same team. Sorry. That is Era 1, right? She's in
yeah.
Era
Who
1.
lost?
It's or she's Era 1. She's going
Yeah.
against Katie. So she's gonna go against Katie. Like,
Oh,
okay, good luck, Katie.
yeah. Um, so, and Rachel also is actually, so Anissa is the best friend. She's like, I mean, we've been friends for so long. This is going to feel like a betrayal. And it's like, known each other for a really long time. And I'm not saying they're not friends, and I'm sure they care about each other, but they're all friends. Like there's no, again, as Rachel
Yeah,
said, it's a
and I'm
bad
so
choice
like
and a bad choice.
I wanted to ask you what you thought about this. Do you think they should be trying to keep the stronger players? Because we don't know what's going to happen at the end of this thing. Is TJ going to be like when they run the final, hey, everyone for themselves? Because that's what I think Tony was trying to say about Jordan. He's like, would you rather run a final against me or would you rather run a final against Jordan? And Jordan's all like, oh, well, I'm going to get you guys to the final. Yeah, but then when you get there, you're going to crush everybody. Do we try to get you a limit? So like, I think personally, that this is too big of a thing. They're going to keep them all as a team for the final. I do.
I think that, so this is what I think for no reason other than that I think so. One, before I go into this, I want to address what Tony's saying that, and Tony's conversation prior with Corey, where he was like, don't you want to be, I don't remember what he asked Corey, but Corey was like, I want to be the best one total. Like, I want to win.
That was Corey. Corey was saying that, right?
Corey was saying that. But again, I'm not saying that is whatever it is. But Tony, his argument seemed to be, I'm less of a good competitor than Jordan, right? That was what he was ultimately trying to say.
I got that. That's what I got from it.
Don't you want to compete against me versus Jordan, which is, again, a terrible argument, especially having been gone for a long time, just because you want to, I think, come off as not a total weak link.
I just think Tony saw the writing on the wall. He was just trying to think of some, he's not, we know he's not the smartest guy out there. He was just trying to, he's trying to think of a way to stick around, because there's two, the Corey and Tori won. So they get to choose, as we know the rules are. And I'm sorry, but Tori is not going to put in Jordan. So Tony went to Corey hoping that he could try to, but the problem is that Corey and Tony had that. Now, who threw who? Remember that they showed the
Corey Tony.
Yeah. So if anything, Corey should be like, let me, Tony, the excuse that Tony should have used was, hey man, you dropped me on my head on a previous season. I think Tony was probably obviously saying something to him to make him do that. But either way,
did he throw his spaghetti out the window on the bus on the way home? I think literally that's what happened.
It was messy. It was messy, whatever it was. And I don't know. Either way, it's like, okay, well, Tony, it didn't work. You're most likely going down there. So that's going to be interesting for sure.
It's not only, okay, so who are they going against on that team? Who is the loser of that team?
This is era 3. And it's Leroy and Naya. So whoever loses is going to go against Leroy in this first elimination.
Yeah. So Tony, I think, was like shortchanging himself personally. I feel like he did well for the 2 weeks he was there in All Stars, and then he left early mysteriously. Remember?
Yeah, he had a family thing. He had a family issue or something.
He's always good. I feel like that was a. It's not like he's a lamb next to Jordan.
Is you have to understand who Tony. There's Devin, Jordan, and him.
I get it. I get that he's the odd man out.
Yeah.
To some extent. But I think this is back to us where we're going with this is I think that it is going to be teams, that each team is going to wind up last man and woman standing. Okay. And they will run the final against each other as a team. That would be my prediction, the way it's being set up.
I think there's going to be more. Oh, you think? See, I think it's going to be like when it was like good guys versus bad guys or whatever, where like there might be 8 people on one team and like 3 people on another team. I think it's
you're eliminating the same amount of people each week from each team.
I think once they get it down to 32, it's going to go down to single eliminations. It's going to be whoever gets last place. And then they're going to choose some maybe from, it doesn't have to necessarily, maybe it's from the same, maybe it is, or maybe it's double eliminations every week. So at least you get 2 teams losing a player each week, and they have to go against someone on their own team still each time. But maybe I'm wrong, but that's just, we have no idea. We have no idea.
I have no idea. Yeah. I was making that up, but that
producers could make it, the producers could make this up. They have so many options here, which is actually really smart on their part. They can do whatever the hell they want every week to manipulate it however the hell they want it to, because they could do it one week where it's a double elimination. They could do another week where it's like, okay, it's going to be a double elimination, but you're going to go against someone from a different team. They could mix it up however they want.
Well, that is what's another interesting thing about the information you and I do not know about everybody calling out production, or not everybody, a select few people calling out production. Is that what they're calling out? Are they saying, oh, it was rigged so favorites could be staying?
The word rigged that's been used is rigged. And apparently, according to our chat, people were saying Jordan and Horacio were the 2 people. And Horacio, which I had seen this on social media, he said that this was his last season. He's not going to come back. And that is based on the fact that he's like, what is this show? It's a little, either it's rigged, or from Jordan's side of things, he doesn't like maybe the conditions of the show so much.
So we briefly discussed the Jordan thing, but I feel like Jordan and Horacio are fan favorites that they would want to keep there. I think when
Well,
the issue came out about the All-Stars season, maybe second to last, whatever season that was, where there was the controversy about who
you
won.
mean
And
when MJ and John A won?
yes. So after that season, Wes, I think we interviewed Wes, check that
Yes.
out.
Yep.
Go check out our interview with Wes, but was saying ultimately it's a competition and it's real and there's money on the line, but it's a TV show first. And everybody
Yeah.
has to be aware of that.
Yeah.
That if they don't want Bananas to go home week one, then I don't know if it's rigged, but then, oh, guess what? Since Bananas sneezed and then, and then a bird flew over his head,
So,
he's now
oh,
not
Pamela,
eliminated.
I'm so glad you brought this up. So my conspiracy is they purposely gave Bananas awful competitors on his team, so he's guaranteed to make it weeks on the guys' end because they all suck. And did you see him? He won tonight easily. So I thought that was funny.
Yeah, and it's funny because Brandon, that was. I don't know if he's good or not because I don't think we got to see a really lot of his capabilities last
Yeah.
season that he was on, and we haven't seen him in like 20 years since then, right?
Yeah.
But so I don't know really what his story is, but I did like when he was like, it's not the right decision, but I get it. I liked his defense too. It's
Yeah.
interesting now having the teammates sort of turn against themselves to some extent.
Well, that's where the drama is going to come in.
Mhm.
Speaking of John A and her being a two-time champ, which she announced tonight, I said, John A, you are a two-time champ. I can't take that away from you, but you're a two-time champ on the All-Star season. I'm not saying that that's easy, but I'll also say, because you brought it up too, that one of your championships felt like it might not have been you winning. It maybe should have been someone else winning.
Like, I got the phone, like Pam got the phone. At the end, it's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so that was and one of yours was controversial. Just saying, John A. And John A, if you win this season, I will eat my words. I have no issues about it whatsoever. If you win this season, that is a huge victory, considering the amount of people that are on this show and the amount of really, really strong talent that there is.
Support John A as a person and a competitor. I do think, unlike someone like Katie or Anissa or Amanda, unfortunately, who I'm gonna say are my layups,
Yeah.
I think John A has a fighting chance. She's not one of those people that's like, I need better make it to a final, and you're like giggling behind your
Yeah.
hand. I think that she is certainly not the most athletic, but we've seen the most athletic person not win time and time again. So there are other things that Jonna possesses.
Who's one that hasn't been athletic? Give me that name. Because everyone that
Katie.
what's that?
Katie
When did Katie that
has not
tonight
been athletic. Oh, you're saying when do people win that are not athletic?
win the final? That's not athletic. Is
Um,
that what you were talking
oh
about? Because
yeah,
that's
I'm
where.
not saying win the final, but you can go far by sort of
Okay, all right. Because
coasting
like
under the
if it is
radar.
if they treat this final like they did 39, 38, 37, where they like not an all-stars final, where they know that they're older and whatnot. If they treat this like, hey, look, these are 25-year-olds and they can run 18 miles. If you treat it that way, let's see what happens. I'd be interested.
Yes,
However, I do believe in one of the All-Stars. She did run for quite some time.
they
So there
did have
is
to do
that
some.
in her defense. So I
They
don't want
did have to
anyone
do some
getting on me
crazy
in the
run.
chats. I'm
Yeah.
acknowledging it. I'm just
No, but
saying the competition is a lot harder now than it is in the All-Star
well,
seasons.
then you Jody. Okay, but then so if you're giving if the question to illustrate my what I mean, if it's ultimately if who was going to make it further, Jody versus John A, I would say John A versus a Jody, even though Jody can run farther.
I know, but I'm
Like
sorry, but like Rachel's there. Good
I'm not
luck.
talking about winning
I
the
know, I
final
know,
or
I know.
anything.
I'm just
I'm just saying at this point, there's to me, there are layup people, and then there's the crazy jocks that
I
are
know. I'm just saying, like, yeah, I'm just saying if you put in, I mean, Laurel, Cara Maria, and Rachel and John A. Who's in fourth place there?
if there's equalizers along the way,
All right,
you never know. Well,
Pamela, I love it. I love it. And maybe people in the comments agree with you as well. I don't see it.
I'm
I
not
just
saying
can't see it.
she's amazing. I'm saying she's a mid-level competitor, as opposed to some people that suck and some people that are great, but that
Compared to
fall
what she
short.
was on the original challenge, you're right. She is a mid tier to me currently. Yes. Okay. So for the challenge tonight, I don't want to talk too much about it because we kind of already did. They solve a puzzle and then they go out in the little boat and they get the things, they come back. Let's break down who won. And I think that this is very interesting. And we'll start with era one. This isn't the interesting part. Era two is the interesting part. Era one was CT and Rachel. That seems pretty chalk to me. Here's era two. Laurel wins. Cara actually finishes second. So 2 women on that team. And we talked about era 2 having the strongest females. They talked about it all this episode too. And then Bananas comes in for the males after that. And I thought Cara made some really excellent freaking points during the chamber sessions. I don't even know what to call them. During the chamber period. I want to call it like during the round table. I want to call it during the round table, but I don't think it's actually a round table. It's not. It's a rectangular table. But during the rectangular table, Cara made an excellent point. She's getting really good at staying focused and saying, look, I came in second, Bananas. You're just effing lucky it was the first guy and first girl. Because you know why they did it that way? Because they're assuming 2 guys are going to actually finish first. So that's why they made it first guy and first girl. But hey, guess what? It actually was 2 girls that finished. And technically, Bananas, you should be on the freaking chopping block. But your lucky production hooked you up. So, I love that Cara said that. And I think that was a great move by her.
I love that she said it too, and I feel like simply for the fact that she beat all of the men on her team, and it is a girls and guys thing, she should be off the chopping block.
I agree.
Because she's a good performer. And it's crazy how stacked the females are on that team and how it's crazy.
Yeah. And everyone's talking about, people are talking about it all over the challenge universe, all in the comment section. They're like, there are so many dudes from era 2. Maybe you called them and maybe they couldn't do it, but if you didn't reach out to them, that's on you.
Who would you want from era 2?
I mean, obviously Wes is number 1.
Wes.
And obviously, like, I know they'll never bring them back because of the controversy, but like Evan and Kenny.
No Evan and Kenny.
I'm sorry, but Kenny was a freaking beast on this show. I'm not sure if people realize how great of a challenger he was. Can I do his resume real quick, just so y'all can remember? Is that okay if I bring up his resume real quick?
Yeah.
Because I know he was only there for a short period of time, probably like 5 or 6 seasons. But his as I recall, I'm looking
while you're bringing it up, I'm going to make a request to everybody that's listening.
Yeah.
Tell me and Dan and Jenna, because she'll read the comments, who you would want, who's an era 2er, because I'm just having trouble.
Well, I just gave 3. I just gave 3 people. I just gave 3 guys.
I know that timeline, but who else were guys in and of that timeline of the Oh, what about like Landon, MJ? Like what era are they?
Landon, I'm pretty sure is going to be in number 1 or number 2. I'm thinking it's more 2 though. I can look that up though. I can find out what era he is. But here we go. This is Kenny's record. Okay. He appeared on 8 seasons. Okay. He won 3 of the 8. And he made it to every single final except for 1. So he went to 7 out of 8 finals. And he won 3 of them. That's insane. That's insane.
Yeah.
You can't give him I know he had the issue with Tanya. I don't even want to call it an issue. It's worse than an issue, but but I at the same time, he went to 7 out of 8 finals. He was on 8 seasons. Only 1 time did he not make a final.
Yes. But you know what? I don't know. Whatever. There's guys I would much rather see than Kenny, put it that way.
He had 36 daily wins. And in eliminations, he went 5-2. He's only been to 7 and then went 5 and 2.
The season where it was like, pop a water balloon with your teeth and then,
Come on, don't do that, Pamela. Don't do that, because Anissa was along for those seasons too, and she's 13-13.
It's easier to get far for both Anissa and I'm saying Anissa doesn't have the record Kenny does. But
hey, carnival games, Jenna always talks about carnival games. They can be very tricky too. How do you know how to do certain things? Like throw an axe.
Rachel and Cara Maria's elimination.
Well, that was recent though. That wasn't back in the day. Exactly. That was very recent.
No, I'm saying it's always a crapshoot. You can't be like, oh, well, you're not that good because look at your elimination. Cara beat Rachel. It's like she did, but.
Well, I know that was really bad. Okay, so moving on to era 3, your winners for era 3 are Tori and Corey, and era 4, Michelle and Horacio. The losers, we'll go with those real quick. Era 1, Katie Mark. Era 2,
Okay.
Ryan and Kellyanne. Era 3, Nia and Leroy. Leroy has been struggling these past couple seasons. I mean, All Stars, and then this one.
Yes.
Him, it just not a good look for him the last couple times here.
No,
And then
no.
era 4, Nerys and Theo. I'm very disappointed Nerys didn't make it. And here's what I wanted to bring up with this. Okay, this is great. This is great. So now during the chamber time, okay, they're kind of like hinting that Olivia is going to go against Nerys. And they're also hinting, obviously, Theo's already in elimination, and they're hinting it's going to be him versus Paulie. Okay. Now, supposedly, here's my whole thing. Supposedly, Theo and Olivia, they obviously get together on this show. So here's the thing. They either both get eliminated in this thing, so that way they go on that vacation together, or they both win and get to know each other longer on the show. Because how are they going to get to know each other if one of them loses and one of them wins? They knew each other for like a day. And we saw them vacationing with Josh and Nia. So I'm sorry, but I'm no spoiler alert here, but the four of them went on vacation after the show. It's what they do. They might as well stay in Vietnam or go somewhere else around that area to experience a vacation. Hell, I would do it too. So there's your thing. They either both win and last a lot longer, or they both lose and then just go on a vacation. I'm thinking they both win and stay longer on the show. That's what I'm saying.
So Josh and Nia are on 3, right? Era 3? Or wait, who's the two?
Josh is on era 4. Nia is on, I know it's so, Nia's on era, I don't effing know.
Nia
No, Nia lost. She's on era 3. Josh is on era.
And she lost. Josh is on a different team. Okay.
Josh on era 4.
Dan, you're so smart, and I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. It could be that they lost and traveled together. I don't know.
So my point is, like, are they accidentally they give it away? Like they're both going to win? Now this is if Olivia goes in, maybe somehow she doesn't get put in against Nerys, because Jenny could go, because Jenny's the other option for Nerys. At least that's who she wants. She doesn't want. She's too afraid of Casey because Casey's so well rounded. Screw that. Put Casey down there.
I do not want Ollie and Nerys to go. Like that would be heartbreaking.
I don't either. It
would be like in that first episode.
Sadly, I don't want Theo and Olivia because I want romance. I want a good storyline.
I don't think that they're gonna go, but I'm hoping that it's not Paulie that goes against Theo, because I really don't want to see him go. He goes on way too quick every time that he's been back on. It sounded
like Paulie was calling his shot, because he likes to pull that Jordan, where Jordan flipped over all the wooden things, and we saw what happened. Jordan went home. Paulie, keep your mouth shut. I know you and Theo have it out. I know you gave Theo a big kiss on the lips seasons ago. We all saw that kiss fight that y'all did.
It was funny. I mean, it was a good way to. I liked the kiss, but I also thought that they were like sort of real friends in real life. I don't know.
Really? I don't know where you're getting that, but whatever. Either way. I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure. And here's the thing too. I figured it out because I saw the preview for the next one. It looks like whoever goes against Theo is going against Theo in a hall brawl at some point this season. It might not be this one here. It might be one later down the line, but it looks like Theo is in a hall brawl at some point this season. And if it is this first night of eliminations and he goes against Paulie, you're telling me you're picking Paulie over Theo in a hall brawl?
No.
Hell no.
I really, really don't want Nerys and Paulie to go. That's like my number one most crushed of everybody else. Like obviously Cara Marie, I don't want to go. I don't think that's going to happen, fortunately.
Yeah.
You're
spot on, Pam. Like out of all the other people that we know are going into eliminations, Katie, Mark, Ryan, Kellyanne, Nia, Leroy. See ya. I don't care. I mean, I would be a little upset about no one. I don't care if any of them go home. They had their, I'm fine with all of them going home. The only one that is on the chopping block, Nerys and Theo, era 4. Those are the only two I care. Like, I kind of want them to stay.
Me too.
Oh, not even kind of. I really want them to stay.
Me too. But I also really want Paulie to stay. So I don't want Paulie to go against Theo.
How is he going to get out of it? Josh is not going to go down there, and then the only other option is I don't even know.
So in that a lot of Josh shut up. Fortunately, he didn't have too much screen time, right. But there was one really funny moment where Paulie said his thing or Theo said his thing, and Josh and Kylan, looked at
So
each other
that's
like,
it. That was, I wrote it down too.
like
That was
90s sitcom
so,
faces. It was great.
that's the other guy I'm not thinking of. It's Kylan. And Kylan's got enough friends. Hopefully, who won it? Who won that? Michelle and Horacio won. There's no way Horacio is putting in Kylan because Michelle and Horacio get the vote there. There's no way. There's no way Kylan's going in. I don't think. Horacio and Nerys and him are besties. Nerys is
Right,
already
right,
down
right.
there. He can't lose Kylan and Nerys in the first week.
No, it would make sense that it would be Olivia, but
I
I
hope it's
really don't want it to be.
I weirdly want it to be Jenny, and I'm hoping producers are smart and they make it a puzzle.
Right, if it's Jenny, because like who cares? Like, no offense on
I
Jenny,
don't
she's
care.
great, she's muscular, but
She
like I don't care
won.
about
She won
her.
the challenge the time that she was on. I don't even remember what she won, but I remember her winning something.
She's
So
not going to bring up drama. And I still have never forgiven her. You know, when these one little things that happen that just get in your brain. So forever, I'm like, she's not a good competitor because Tori took her down in a hall
in the hall
brawl.
brawl, that's correct.
And it just makes me think she doesn't have that killer instinct. So you can go to the gym. You can be so good at exercising, Jenny. Good job. It doesn't mean if when push comes to shove, you're not going to bang heads. You're not
Yeah.
going to win.
Yeah. I wanted to enter the chamber here and talk a little bit more about some of the things that happened. I want to talk about Michelle crying, and I wanted to say, crocodile tears, Michelle, go cry all you want, because after what you did on 39, you're telling me if that comes back to bite you in the ass, which it's doing right now, I'm supposed to feel bad that you're crying right now? Hell
Yeah.
no. You screwed over Nerys. You basically you copped it. You somehow got Olivia on your team. You didn't promise her jack crap, but you got her. It's screw you. Sorry.
How dare you with a straight face be like, the way you feel about Horacio is how I feel about Olivia.
Olivia.
I love her. She's my pride. It's like, what? You are the most, you're whack, Michelle. She's whack. I'm saying it. But also, I have to bring this up because I was cracking up. This is so Michelle. Was she talking to herself in third person? She was like, let's go, Michelle. While she was doing, I swear she used her own name.
Well, she was
She
doing
was
the
like,
challenge of the night.
yes, she was doing the puzzle, and when it was, she's like, let's go, Michelle, focus, Michelle. Like she was talking to herself
Yeah.
out loud
I don't
and
remember
using
now.
her name. It wasn't just like, all right, stay focused, stay with it. It was like, come on, Michelle, find peg number 9.
And you know what really sucks is, I mean, we can say Jenny had that win, but she lost one in the miso soup bowl. Like, come on, Jenny, step up your game. There's that killer instinct. You gotta come on.
The killer instinct and the bananas.
Count your chickens, count your ducklings in a row here. Don't lose one.
Well, what bananas and CT have in spades, and I think you just experience that you cannot learn, even again, if you're the best at exercising, Jenny, you go to the gym all the time, good for you. But like, these challenge games are not real sports and they're not real exercise. They're like the weirdest amalgamation of the two. So bananas would never, it's like keep your 10 pins. You know, you the weird things that a normal person wouldn't think about.
Let me ask you
You
this.
have to be thinking about.
It looked like Devin somehow attached them all to his life vest and didn't forget one. He didn't even have a boat to catch them. He attached them to a life vest that he was wearing and brought them back safely. Like, come on, Jenny.
That's right. You got to use all your resources.
Right. Any other thing? Josh and Kylan sitting back was freaking hilarious.
That was
You
great.
mentioned that. Cara made great points. Derek volunteered. Oh, Anissa, I wrote for Anissa's line. Anissa, maybe Rachel doesn't want to save you. Like, because she's like, you're not doing a good job of saving me, Rachel. And I was like, well, I don't think she wants to save you, Anissa. Like, she doesn't, like, I'm sorry, but you are a weak link on this team. There's no reason for you to be here. Good luck. Try to stay in as long as you can. You're deaf, but you're the weak link on that team.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. I don't understand how Anissa can be like, what? Shocked every time one of her best friends considers voting her into something. It's like Rachel is there with her actual best friend, Tina, not her like we've known each other for a long time friend.
Yeah.
And also can't, like everybody else, like she's not in an easy position. Why would she think that she's gonna save her?
I don't know. I don't care because it's like, yeah, you can be friends all you want, but what it comes at the end of the day is you're playing for $1 million. Who's going to help me get to this final more, Anissa or somebody else? I'm going somebody else. And I wanted to bring up Avery too. Avery again performed well tonight, but she doesn't have the connections, and I think that's going to screw her over. in era 3. And I think she's going to have to go up against Naya in this elimination because I just think the rest of the girls are, yeah, Tori is, yeah. Well, no, the good thing Avery has going for her is I want to say Amanda in era 3? Yes.
Yes.
So that, thank God Avery has Amanda there because Tori's in charge right now. And I'm really hoping Avery can be saved by them throwing Amanda to go down there.
Tori throws Amanda's ass fucking in right away. Like, I really hope so.
And you heard, I thought Avery made a great point. Like, look, I know y'all don't know me from, the next person in line here, but give me a chance. I can perform. Like, I wish he said, did y'all watch me on All Stars? Because I did pretty well there. And did you watch me tonight? Like, this is going to continue to go on here. So I'm really hoping Avery gets another chance at it. And I think that because of that hatred, but then Devin brought up a really good point, which he's like, I kind of want to keep Amanda and Tori here because now I'm saved from both sides. So now I'm hoping that doesn't work against Avery staying, but we'll see.
When are Amanda and Devin become so close?
They're from Are You the One? They have the Are You the One connection.
Shit. Yeah, I mean, and Amanda tried to say like, oh, it's me and you, Corey, we're the outsiders because it's like, because we're both friends with Nelly. It was Amanda's arguments weren't even good.
No, that was, yeah. They brought up Nelly really quick tonight. I was like, what is that? Are you that
both really close with him? It's like, okay, that's nice, but
I mean, I know that Corey is close with Nelly. I mean, I see them hanging out on a regular basis when Nelly or him visit each other and they hang out with the kids and whatnot. But
I will say that Amanda and him have always been close. Like that is one of I get that they're real friends, like in real life, and that's cool, but who cares? Like that's neither here nor there about whether she should stay for that team. And listen, she full on started the thing. You know how I feel about her dislike of Tori. It's stupid. It's illogical. She's like, won't let it go. Picks fights with her, brings it up. Kick her to the curb, Tori. Get rid of her. She's toxic.
You know what I think is really interesting about this season, and we don't get to see this very often, is since there's 4 teams, there's almost like 4 different shows happening all in one, because each team, because of this great setup that they gave us, each team has so much great drama and people to like and people to hate. Like, I was going to ask you at the end of this episode, like at the end of our after show, I mean, like, who are you rooting for? But I don't know how to answer that because I'm honestly rooting for certain people on every team. So like I'm rooting for certain people to come. Like once the final hits, maybe I'll have a better idea. But if they do keep it as a team the entire way and even through the final, I'm going to be rooting for certain people to make it in each team.
Well, let's go through and pick our.
Okay, let's pick our people we want to see make the final for each team. Because in all honesty, I think it's really intriguing. I want to start with era 4 and work our way back.
Okay.
In era 4, I'm obviously rooting for my favorite trio, Nurys, Kylan, and Horacio. And yeah, that's it. That for me, that's it. I mean, Theo, I want to stay just because the Olivia thing, but I don't want them either of them. They don't need to win. Yeah, what are you thinking for era 4? Like Josh, obviously, bye Josh, bye Casey all day, all the way. Casey, see you later.
I literally forgot Casey was on tonight, and I'm not even kidding. Until you said someone mentioned that she was
shouldn't be on the damn show. And like, oh, when Casey was like, oh, we want to have kids and kids are expensive. That's what she said, right? I said, yeah. You already won with CT, and I believe she won something on Big Brother.
One Big Brother.
You're done. Big Brother. Yeah, you're done then. You don't know. You got plenty of. How expensive do you think kids are? Like, I get they're expensive, but you're done. You're done, kid. There's other people that need it.
You're done, Casey. Also, I hate that reason in general. It's like, whatever.
Yeah. Other people.
No one else is expensive.
Yeah, everyone needs the money for something.
Beach house. You know what? Like, and I want that. So what? Yeah, there's a lot of
exactly. We all have stuff we want to spend money on. It's garbage. It's a garbage statement, right? Exactly. Yeah.
I'll say Kelly Ann's Animal Sanctuary, though. I'll give.
Oh, that one gotcha.
No, yeah, a little bit, but no, everyone has valid reasons to want to win. I don't care. Right. The other thing, and especially about kids are expensive. Like, all right, Casey, for 4, Nurys and Horacio, obviously, but I really, and I'm gonna get shit for this. I want to see more of Paulie because I liked him when he was on. I'm not saying he has to win, but I don't want him to go home quickly because
I'm okay. No, I'm
we've had
okay with
Paulie
Paulie.
teases in the past couple of seasons, but it's never gone anywhere. He's always gone home early. And I think Michelle is really good TV, and her and Devin, I want to see that relationship
I
develop.
want to see that relationship. I will disagree with you. I guess she's okay TV. I just don't think she's a good challenger. So that bothers me. But whatever. Yeah, okay. But Paulie, I'm with you 100% on Paulie. I'm just happy he's finally back. I mean, look, because even when I hated Cara Maria during that season, I told you that was the season when he proposed when Jordan proposed to Tori.
Jordan.
Paulie was happy for them. I liked Paulie that season. So and it's interesting because now I'm back to being a huge fan of Cara. So at least I was from All Stars, and we'll see if it carries over to this. But yeah, I'm team Cara and Paulie right now for sure. So yeah, I want to see him go
I
further for
am
sure.
too.
Yeah.
I am too, and I really want to see how the inter-team relationships wind up affecting their games
Mm-hmm.
deeper into the season, which tonight is irrelevant. So
Yeah.
I really want to see them together on the show. It's been 6 years since we saw them developing their feelings for each other. I'm super curious about that, and I do not want
Yeah.
to see him go. I'll be really upset.
Yeah.
All right, how about three?
Three. Well, for me, it's obviously Jordan. Like
I am having such a hard time with the people that are in three versus like the people like
yeah,
I
so
do need to have a chart in front of me next
yeah,
time.
and you could just pull it up on the old like if you just type in the challenge on Instagram. But this is like the Tori, Amanda, Jordan. Here, I'll pull it up. It's already
Okay.
saved on my thing here. So your era 3 is this is where like the John A and Leroy. This is where it gets confusing because I think of
Okay.
them more as era 2, but it's not
Or
based on
but
that.
me too. I think of them as much more old school
I
than
know, I
yes.
do
That's
too,
why it's
because it's
confusing.
because the Are You the One people like are feel like more new to me, but Are You the One aired God over 10 years ago. It's just hard to realize it's been that long. But this is that Tori, Naya, Devin, Avery, Tony. So like on this team, in all honesty, like I like a lot of these people. So I
Wait,
like
Nate, will you name three for me? Because that's where I get really Johnny, Tori, Naya, Kelly, and
no Kellyanne's on two. She's the weak. Kellyanne's the weakest link on two because she's the one that's going down to elimination. She's on two. So let's do era 3. Leroy, John A, Corey, Tori, Devin, Avery, Tony, Jordan, Naya, Amanda. So I'm gonna go
Amanda.
with. I want to definitely see Jordan. I'd love to see Tony because I know he's gonna be hard because he doesn't have a lot of friends on this team. So I want to see Tony go far. But obviously, I like Devin and Avery too. So there you go. There, I picked 4, and I'll pick Tori
I
as well. There's
okay.
5 for you.
I have an easy. This one's easy for me.
Okay, go ahead.
For the girls, I want Johnny and Tori to go far because I both like them
No,
and think they deserve
you're
it.
not an Avery fan, are you? You don't like Avery.
I did until I really started
The
disliking
Adam. You don't
Adam,
like the Adam thing.
and
Yeah.
now I did, and I
I
was
get
into
it.
them
I get it.
together. It doesn't make me dislike her, but I don't care as much about her as I would if I just
Adam
love
definitely Adam definitely
put it that
got
way.
Adam definitely went from loving him to like, what are you saying at the end of the show? He made some, but I don't know if it also editing, but he said those things. So maybe not editing. Maybe it's just really Adam, like, what are you doing, bro? But I like them together as a couple. I think he probably treats her real good. I don't think it's like
I
a
do
bad thing
too.
there.
I'm not really. I would like to think that I'm not really judging his entire character on not liking Cara Maria, but
Right.
I might be judging his entire character on not liking Cara Maria because it seemed so extreme and weird, and I didn't get it. So I'm not holding Avery accountable for that, but in the mix with 40 amazing people that I care more about, I also feel like Avery, which she did that last season, I was really excited to see her. She performs well. She's always just second best. Like she's
I know.
never
I
quite
know.
outstanding. And it bugs me. So at this point, it's like, well, there's all these outstanding people here. So, you
All
know,
right. What and then for guys, I assume Jordan, but not I
Jordan
don't
and Devin. Yeah. So
oh
Tori.
you're okay with Devin. Okay, I
Oh
figured you wouldn't be rooting
yeah,
for Devin.
Devin
All right.
now.
All right.
So
Not Tony, not
unfortunately,
Tony Leroy. No Tony Leroy there.
Leroy has not been
I know.
performing well
I
in
know.
any of the past things that he's been doing. So I don't know.
That's a
What I'll say for CT is he may have an off season and get fat and do whatever he's doing. He comes and shows up.
yeah,
Like
he
he
does show
doesn't,
up no
he
matter what.
always shows
Yeah,
up.
no matter what shape,
No matter what
literally.
shape he shows up in, he shows up.
And then just, I mean, on Leroy's thing, like leaving your kid after 2 weeks, that's got to be rough. Like 2 week, 2 month old, a 2 week old. That's, I
Well,
don't know.
that might just be his head's not in the game. That's what.
Maybe I don't know how you do that. That's rough. Okay. Era 2, which has a million weak dudes. The only one I'm rooting for is Bananas
Oh,
here. Uh, I'll give you the guys: Nehemiah, Ryan, Derek, and Brandon. Bananas. I mean, I don't care. So Bananas, and then for girls, Aviv, Kellyanne, Laurel, Cara, and Emily. And in all honesty, I'm not rooting for Laurel. I'm not rooting for Aviv just 'cause I haven't seen her in forever. I love Emily. I like Cara this season, and Kellyanne is like a poor man's like Avery almost, where like she's like Avery style, where like I don't know. I think she's gonna be second. She's not gonna win it.
I think Kellyanne is exactly equivalent to Avery.
Yeah, I
So
know.
much that I'm
Yeah, she's like
equating
right
them.
there.
Like they're
I
good.
still give Avery the edge, which is why I called her like a poor person's Avery. I still think she's equivalent to Avery, but I think Avery still has the edge on her. I really do personally. But yeah,
Anne's super athletic. I mean, didn't she do really well on her All-Star season?
I don't remember her
I
doing.
think
I
she
don't remember
did.
her doing anything amazing. But yeah,
I think Kellyanne, to agree with what you're saying, with how good this team of women is,
yeah.
Kellyanne also on the level with, I'd say, Jonna and Avery that are good. They're not layups. They're not bad.
No, they're not
They have a
layups.
fighting chance. You don't want to see them in an elimination. You're not like, I'll pluck you for breakfast or whatever.
Right.
They're like real contenders, but they're not super champs like some of the other women here. So I like Kellyanne a lot. I like Aviv, I guess. I don't know. I don't think
You don't know her,
I
yeah.
don't remember her at all. Obviously, I want to see Cara. I would like to see Cara take out Laurel.
Yeah, me too.
I think she's better than Laurel, so I think it's annoying that she's always coming in
Do
second
you
to her
really? Do you
because
really feel that way?
oh
I
yeah.
don't. I disagree. I think Laurel takes it to another level. I think she's insanely good.
Remember how bullshit last season was though, with everyone giving Laurel like she already had six of the
I
like
agree. I
it was
agree
such
that
bullshit.
didn't.
Cara would have totally won if it wasn't like that.
Well, look, they went straight up tonight. They did a heads up competition tonight. Neither of them got any additional. What were those things even called when they gave them?
Levelers or whatever.
No, they gave them like
I don't remember.
they
I'm
gave them
never
their
gonna
skull.
remember.
No, they gave them
Oh,
their.
this
No, what the
I
hell
don't
was it
know. I
last
know what
season?
you mean, but I don't know.
All
It's like
Stars thing. You got something. You
I'm
got
giving
a.
my halo or my like all golden star, whatever the heck it was.
You had to get something. Yeah. Why can't I think of that's gonna tell us in the comments? They'll tell us
Oh,
what the hell those things
I think it
were.
was literally a star.
A star. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm
You had to
giving my
get.
star.
No one got extra stars tonight. Is my point. Okay.
Right, and the
Let's.
extra stars allowed Laurel to skip a few. Like, no,
It
it
was
was
garbage. No, I
ridiculous.
agree. But head to head tonight, Laurel did win without extra stars. You can admit that.
Tonight because whatever. Also by like 3 seconds, they were really neck and neck.
I'm just saying that it was a legit competition tonight
You
with a puzzle and also something that you actually caused you had endurance, strength, all that above too. Balance.
agreed, agreed.
All right.
But I still think in general, overall, especially if we're using last season as a comparison, Laurel was playing a scared game. Cara was winning all these daily eliminations. Laurel was not showing up the way Cara was, so whatever.
Yeah.
I'd like Cara to win, and Emily, I guess. I mean, Emily's great, and she seems really,
I love Emily. I think she's great. Yeah.
she seems like a very sweet person too, which is nice because I feel like I don't really
Yes.
know her anymore. It's been a long time,
Right.
but she's sweet. And then Bananas, and then Brandon, I guess.
You're
Just
gonna
because
throw Brian. At least you do. I'm only rooting for one dude to make it. I don't. All those other dudes, they all
I
suck.
like Ryan and Derek. They're not going to win. To me, is what. I don't think that they're going to beat Bananas and CT and Corey
What about
and
Nehemiah? Anything for Nehemiah?
no, I don't. I think Nehemiah has had a few opportunities to sort of show up in the past. He's been on All Stars a couple of times, and he's
Yeah,
always
at least
fine.
once. Yeah,
Yeah, he's a fine, can coast middle of the
he
road
is.
for a while, but
He's the male equivalent to Avery for me. Then.
exactly there's the middle, there's the A squad, the B squad, and the C squad, and
There you
these
go. If
people
you
are
wanted to
all in the
split
B
up that
squad.
way,
Though.
he's in.
Yeah,
We should do a night where we rank A, B, or C. That'd be fun.
okay,
All
because
right.
it's pretty easy. I mean, I feel like there's obvious people
It's
fall
yeah, I
in
think it's pretty
certain.
easy to throw them and stuff. All right, so let's do the Arrow 1. To me, every dude here I like. Uh Derek, CT, Darrell, Mark, and Brad. I want them all to make it, but I know that that's not possible. Literally, one of them is getting eliminated at the end of the episode 1. And as far as girls, I've always liked Jody, but like we said, we think that she gets whelmed. She gets the whelm going. Uh Anissa and Katie and Tina. I like Tina's personality, but all three of them can go home. And then Rachel. I like Rachel, obviously. So there you go. 2 girls.
I like Rachel.
Yep.
And then I like all those other girls, but I would actually realistically, I think Rachel.
Rachel. Okay. Yep. Yep.
If it really did come down to a 2 on those teams, don't know.
Give me
Tina,
Jody. Give me
no.
Jody. Give me
Oh,
Jody.
Jody, I forgot. Jody,
Yeah.
Jody and Casey are in the same cabinet of my mind where it's like,
Okay.
oh, right, you're good at football or something, but like, I don't care. You're
Right.
so boring that I forget you after I've seen you.
Yeah.
So sure, Jody, but again, she's not a Rachel. Rachel's well-rounded,
No, I just mean who you like.
well-rounded.
We're doing this based on like who do we actually want to make the final?
Right, Jody deserves it, quote unquote, more than Katie, Tina, and Anissa.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But then with the guys, CT obviously forever,
Yeah.
and I want Brad because I do think with Darrell, Mark, and Derek. Do you think Brad is sort of the odd man out in that group, even though there's not an
He
odd
is
man
just
out
because
per se?
he's not as OG as though they are. He just
Yeah, I
isn't.
think Brad's great, and he's had a shitty past couple of seasons, so I'd like him to redeem himself. People that I think are like just long-standing greats that always do
Yeah.
well, Brad has fallen to the B squad for me, and I'd like to see him climb back up to the A squad.
What's crazy about Brad is actually I think Brad's always been an A- or B+ player. I don't think he's ever actually been in the A squad because I remember when he ran a final against West, came in second place. Like he's always been close, but I think he's won one time, but it was one of those team ones that he won. We can look it up, but he's never had that definitive solo man on top of the mountain. Like that is his season that no one can ever take away from him. So to me, yeah, he's one of those guys where do you put him in A, B, or C? He's 100% in B right now. But even back in the day, I'd still put him at B plus A minus. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. I would say more A minus, but since we've seen him more recently in All Stars with people of his own age, he has done really well for that. And I was
Except
pleasantly
last season.
surprised, except last season. But in the beginning, I was pleasantly surprised. And I was like, Brad is good at things that I wouldn't have thought Brad would be good at. And I was happy for him that I feel like he's smarter at a few things than I had thought in the past he was. I would like to see this era Brad, adult beard
Yeah.
Brad, do well. He doesn't have to win. He's not going to beat CT.
You want me to tell you
no
what
one's
I
not
think
that good.
one of Brad's best wins was in his entire career? It would have to be the roller skating daily challenge, where he ended up winning the BMX crotch rocket bike. Like for that daily win, they got like a BMX, like a big old crotch rocket bike. You can look it up. Look up like Brad BMX win. And that was like his, to me, like one of his best wins. I mean, you don't remember it, and that's totally fine. It was so long ago, but someone in the chat will remember it.
Okay.
Okay. Any final thoughts on this episode? Because if not, we got part 2 next Wednesday night.
They did a good job, and frankly, this is the kind of thing like Bachelor in Paradise isn't airing anymore. I'm not sure why, but it was on in the summers. It's like the Bachelor summer
I
spin-off.
watched it with you. Yeah, we watched
and
it.
it would be on like 3 nights a
We
week.
covered didn't we? We covered a season of that on our Patreon back.
I tried to make you guys, and it was so bad.
No, I watched it. It was
okay.
fine. It was all right. I watched it.
So, I mean, it's fun. It's the romance version of this. People you know from other seasons
It's
anyway.
better than The Bachelor, that's for sure. It's because it's just a
Like, I
romance
would
part of it. Yeah.
watch this every night. If this was on with these people and behind the scenes, I would totally be happy to watch it for 3 hours a week.
Yeah.
So that's good. The bad is, man, I can't believe they left us hanging like that.
Yeah. But hey, are we not super pumped for this season though?
Well,
So
it's the way we used to be, where it was like, what? Where you actually have to wait and you care
no,
about the next
I
week. So
I
I'm
am
excited.
I am 100% bought in. Jenna's gonna watch this episode at some point this week. This girl Jenna that we have on our show, our trio here, she is the busiest girl these past. It's insane. We tried 3 or 4 different times to get her on. She will be back next week. I can almost guarantee it. She had the craziest schedule this week. We could
She has
not
a
find a time.
wedding, so she has all that she's involved in. So she has all the Friday night, the Saturday, the Sunday.
Every night we tried, every day we tried. The poor girl has so much going on this week. We didn't want. We're like, focus on that. All good things, by the way. She'll be back next week because I know everyone in the comments can be like, Dan and Pam, you're okay, but it really we need Jenna. So.
Yeah, we do need Jenna.
We do. I agree. She really fills out she rounds us out, our great
not
triangle that we have.
snarky as we are, and that's a
For
good
sure.
thing.
She definitely brings the sweetness to our show.
Yeah, she definitely does. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All I've got. I'm like really excited and really happy that it was so good.
I agree 100%. All right. So with that, we'll see y'all next week for part 2 of the Era Invitational. For Pam, my name's Dan. You have something else you want to say, Pam? I see it.
I want to say, oh, sorry. Did my teeth express that I wanted to talk?
I can tell. I just know we're just there now.
I'd like to introduce everyone to my twilight. It's now that time again. Green hued room. I think there's a green ghost behind, like Slimer or something.
It did
and I'm
happen
okay
again.
with it. It seems peaceful and nice, but I have no idea why it turns green at this hour in my room.
It just started like 5 minutes ago, so you made it through the majority of the show.
7:30 is when it turns green.
Yeah. All right. Well, mine stayed pretty good. I bought this new ring light. It's a small one that hooks onto your computer instead of having the big one that stands on a stand. That thing broke, so I just bought a little small one. That's all you need now for what we're doing here.
I need a little small one because the little small ones, I'm very light sensitive, so I don't like having a light in front of my face.
Well, this one, I can dim it and also change from that color to this color, which I don't like, and then this color, which kind of gives me a tan, and then I just like this color. So I do this color.
You do, Dan. That's amazing.
It is what it is. All right. We'll see y'all next week. Good times. Cannot wait. Tell us all the comments in the comment section, how you felt about episode 1, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you think the format might turn into. We're very curious. No spoilers. Thank you so much.
I want to hear how you think the final is going to go down. Do you think it'll be a team thing or a guy and a girl?
Yeah, I'm curious about it too, because if it is an individual, then you might want to get rid of your strong players, but it is a group, you want to get rid of your weak players. It's so obvious. Come on. So yeah, anyways. All right. We'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.